Ooh, child. We're gonna get today's topic of interracial dating, aka all the black men we see with white women in Hollywood.
Caught your ass. See? Interracial dating, and immediately they go to the black men in Hollywood. Don't act like you was playing. Y'all gonna like this. Hold on, this is funny.
A little deeper than that. Well, Michael B. Jordan was spotted on a yacht with a bunch of white women, and
why is this a topic? Michael B. Jordan was spotted on a boat with white women. Listen, y'all hear what I'm saying? Why are they spotted like he doing something wrong?
spotted around town gallivanting with a series of white women on
why is it all right
vacation. He tried to play it off and say it was his bro's girlfriend, but he was canoodling with her. I don't know, all of these things. All of this leading to our question of the week. Why do black women feel so hurt when we see our black men with white women? Ladies.
I don't like to use the word hurt because I feel that puts too much weight on it. Personally, I am not that sad or affected when I see a black man with a woman of another race, unless he's very fine.
Unless he's very fine. So you still feel affected. Why? Now, if this was a whole other conversation about black women dating out, it would have been a whole bunch of, yeah, sis. I know the game.
She's not what I really think is, a good match. But I do question a lot of their choices because when pressed or asked about it, a lot of them have really lame excuses. Like Michael did the whole thing about milk flavors. And I was just like,
so weird.
But right, like just say.
Again, black men, you don't have to explain yourself to nobody. Which is like they always got these lame excuses. Why the hell are you explaining in the first place? I would have told them, people, don't ask me about what's going on in my life. Don't ask me about my dating.
You like what you like, and this is not it, or this is it.
My problem with it is that I feel like Michael B. Jordan's fan base has been built on the backs of black women. And now he's afraid that he's going to lose his audience. So now he's clamoring and he's all...
Black women, y'all don't have power like that in regards to how you affect somebody's career. Y'all tried to do it with the guys, the shits and gigs. Remember when they went through their stuff or whatever the hell they did, they laughed at a joke that Andrew Schultz did, and they said it wasn't no baddies in Atlanta. Black women swore they, took their support from them, and they said that, they lost their fan base. I just watched one of the shits and gigs videos. Them brothers still got millions of subscribers. Y'all don't have power like that to influence somebody's career like that. No. Okay, so if Michael B. Jordan decides to marry a white woman, and you guys say, I'm not watching them no more. If they come out with a Creed 4, I'm first row. So yeah, y'all don't have the power like that. You ain't got the juice.
You got the juice now, man.
These milk analogies, and it's really strange, but we see this so often in Hollywood.
Yeah, and we're seeing right through it because all of those types of explanations, they're just...
See, look at this woman's skin. You should be running around somebody's house married or some shit.
Read as superficial and inauthentic. It's like, just own it, brother. I think it hurts me as well, only because I see Black partnership as a Black investment back into our communities. And when you look at our families, the first person you love is your uncle or your father. And you see this example of Black men and Black women loving each other. And to think that a Black man maybe went through his life without wanting to build that same type of family, it can be very hurtful. And I do think there's this overarching belief that a lot of us are dating and marrying outside of our race. So far, I think it's 89% of the current men who are married are still married to Black women, but that does not...
Okay, now that was a key point. So this was filmed, I want to say, in 2019. She said at the time, I believe she was saying that it was about 89% of married Black men were married to Black women. Fast forward to present day, what is it now? 79%. So she's a little bit off on that. It was actually 85% of Black men were married to Black women around that time frame. Now it's 79%. 79% of married Black men are married to Black women, which means that 21% are married to non-Black women now. That's 1 in 5. So a lot has changed. And these conversations, I think it's based off of what can Black men do to change, but they're already changing. They're already acquiescing to what Black women on the dating market are giving them. So that's why I keep saying to all the people that's trying to have these conversations about Black men, where Black men need to improve, what Black men need to do better to get Black women. They're not getting black women. They, like the other lady said, these new age dudes, they ain't got that loyalty like that. They just going for where it's peaceful. And y'all gotta, this is where black women need to start figuring out what do we need to do and or change to get better for black men. If y'all want to be with black men. That's it. You gotta watch, man.
I acknowledge how that statistics has evolved over time because these new brothers,
There she goes. She said these new brothers ain't got that.
they ain't doing what your daddy was doing back in the day. They on a new wave,
Yeah.
which is a lot of times dating outside their race or this whole exotic thing. So
Right. There it is. An exotic whatever. But she's right. So what do black women need to change? Are y'all willing to change for black men? If they telling y'all need to drop the attitude, relax. You need to lose some weight. Do you listen to black men? Wear your natural hair. Are y'all listening? You hear them, but you're not listening.
It's hard sometimes with conversations like these, and I think a reason a lot of black women don't even like to talk about it publicly is because, like you said, you don't want to be labeled as angry or desperate.
Yeah.
And I know personally, I don't want to frame my whole life like around the fact of whether or not some black man opts to choose me or not. But
See, and that's the thing. It's like, man, so why you care if you don't worry about a black man choosing you?
I think it's valid to be able to say this is how we feel because we're already black women that exist in a world where we are not considered the standard of beauty.
Yeah.
And then to have
No, Lord. Outside of the black community, black women are not considered the standard of beauty. That's been white women or fair women, whatever, right? But within the black community, you are the standard of beauty to black men. That's the only thing that should matter. Am I off on that? I mean, seriously, why do y'all care how everybody else views you when black men see you as the standard of beauty? I've never understood that argument. The men that were born to be with you, you are their standard of beauty. That's it. Oh my God.
have, the men that look like you and the men that you, like you said, you loved your uncles and your fathers and your brothers, and these men that you grow up thinking that you're going to choose and they're going to choose you back are getting the same message that, their sisters and moms and cousins are great, but that's not who they're going to or necessarily choose or think are beautiful. So it is hard.
Now let's see what social media has to say about this.
Lies.
We wrote about this Michael B. Jordan story on HelloBeautiful.com, and we went to the comment section where Tarita M. Ingram said this: I feel like the narrative that black women are affected by it is false.
See?
Okay, so we have to kind of qualify affected. I don't think it means we're not.
See, and then when they ask this question, when you ask a black woman, do you care? Nah, I'm unbothered. I don't care. But then every time a black man gets with a white woman, it's a problem. The singer, what's the dude's name? I was going to say Luigi. Mario. The singer Mario. He's with a white woman. And they had him plastered all over Shade Room. Look at Mario with his new boo. And now it's like, oh man, I can't even listen to his music no more. I thought y'all didn't care.
Sleeping, we're not eating, we're just awake at night going, why is Michael B. Jordan with a white woman?
I did for one night, but okay.
The majority of black women are not losing sleep because Michael B. Jordan decided to go on a yacht in Italy with 3 women. I just want to go to Italy, whether or not he's there
or not,
or not. So we should be able to talk about it again without being labeled as angry, desperate.
But y'all always come off as angry when you talking about this.
I'm also going to say, I didn't feel like Michael B. Jordan was going to get with a black woman anyway. Did anyone else feel that way? I don't look at Michael B. Jordan and think he's going to be with a sister.
There it is. Wonder why she don't think Michael B. Jordan would get with a black woman. Because he's the corny kid, right? Yeah, that type of clean-cut black men, they don't fit with black women. Y'all be stereotyping yourselves. You see that? And then the dudes that do date outside their race, when you get experiences like this, y'all would shame them. Got to go with the white woman. It's like you just told them, like, yo, if I'm a clean cut guy, you don't look like you'd be with a black woman. What is black woman's archetype of a black man? I would love to ask a panel full of honest black women. What do y'all really like? What do you mean by that? We know. Y'all know in the chat. We know the game. Got your ass. That's what it is. I know what you're saying. He ain't got enough hood swag to him. I know the game. You can't get it past me. I know.
There are also some comments on our Facebook page about Michael. Bay Jordan. Janelle Marie said, I don't have a problem with interracial couples as long as the black women aren't being put down to lift another race up. At the end of the day, let that man be. He's grown.
And again, I got videos out there. I'm like, or what? I never understood that clapback or whatever. I don't care who black men date, just as long as he don't talk mess about black women, or what? What are y'all gonna do if he does talk about black women on his way out? You still want him? You still want a goofy ass dude that's talking shit about black women as he's dating out? Is that what you saying? Y'all ain't gonna do shit. What are you gonna do? Or what? Just don't talk about black women or what? I never understood that. Somebody gonna kick him out of the black community caucus or something like that? I don't know. Or what's gonna happen? It's thousands of videos of black women who got with a white guy, got whole followings, talking shit about black men and with her white husband. You don't see black men picketing and rioting, but what are y'all gonna do if a black man still talking mess as he dates out? Nothing. Because that don't matter. You shouldn't be looking for that guy in the first place. He don't want you. Lord, some of these points.
Thank you.
I agree with Janelle.
Thank you. I think that's
Fine. I mean,
It doesn't mean I'm not gonna side eye.
right. Like I might suck.
See, and you still gonna say shit. They just said it. Even if he don't say nothing, I'm still gonna side eye it.
A
little.
But again, if you're not putting us down to live your life,
it just really makes me wonder why they like these white women. You were talking about this too, though.
we have all been conditioned that white is right, from beauty, from success, like that version of whiteness and what it should look like. So whether consciously or subconsciously, these men.
It has not. We have not been conditioned. No.
And women, like everyone that exists in this society, is buying into that. Yeah. And you're fighting every day to really fight against it. And I just think a lot of these men are not fighting it. This is what they think that they're choosing, but really it's being chosen for them.
Okay.
No, it's not. See, these are the type of conversations you need black men. But they ain't gonna listen. They don't get it.
Okay, so as always.
Okay, so now we're about to watch the response from the men after watching this video.
We talked to you guys about this subject, and we asked, as a black woman, do you care when a high-profile black man dates a white woman? With 38% saying yes and 62% saying no.
Y'all
all right,
lying.
so all y'all watching this, y'all don't care?
The lies.
Okay.
The lies.
Thank you. You lying.
The comments telling you the story.
Right. But apparently y'all don't care. But again, maybe we have to qualify care, because if they don't wake up at night thinking about it, maybe they're like, I don't really care.
Okay.
We also asked, we discussed the interracial relationships between high-profile black men and white women because we just like talking about celebrities. That was 42%. 33% said, I don't discuss this. And 25% said, because it further pushes the notion that white is right. We just discuss interracial relationships the same way we would on the internet as we do in real life. I think anytime you're navigating these spaces and you see these pairings, you might think or feel a way. It's just on the internet, you have free range to comment on all of it.
These are the people we see. So, I mean, of course, we're going to talk about celeb interracial relationships more than like the man that lives up the street that's married to somebody.
No, but why are you talking about it in the first place? If y'all don't care, like...
It's not as interesting. We're more invested in these men and in who they choose because they represent what we consider to be the best version of like black men. So of course we're invested in who they choose.
And I think we're invested in these people's lives. Like
athletes and entertainers. Lord have mercy. They don't think there's a middle ground.
Actors and movies and sports are escapism for us. So
there it is. It's like, man, y'all know that it's very successful black men that aren't rappers, athletes, or entertainers. Y'all, do they understand that?
So then when these people who we are looking up to escape from us, we do feel away. So, I mean, to put it like that. And social media. We're looking at these things every day. It's part of our daily conversation.
10 years ago, we wouldn't have known who was on his boat on vacation because we wouldn't have seen it. So now we know how they spend all of their time. So we are then, we feel some kind of way about like every movement. When really, if we didn't see it, we wouldn't feel probably as much.
What, he can't live his life? He can't have pictures on Instagram or the internet of him enjoying his life with some white women? That's absolutely not. You know, one of the most disturbing things that I learned, this was back in 2016 or something around there. Yeah, about 2016 summer. I want to see if y'all remember this. I had just got back from a deployment, I believe. No, I was still deployed when this conversation was going on. You remember when the Cleveland Cavaliers won the championship? They beat the Warriors in 7 games or whatever, right? So Cleveland won the championship. And I think the next week after that, Kyrie was on a boat with a gang of white women celebrating the championship win. Y'all remember this? And I remember when I had a Twitter account, there were black women like, man, ain't no black women on that boat. He don't like black women. I'm like, black women, do y'all know what's finna go down on that boat? Do y'all know why the white women there? Y'all know what they finna do to them white women? You get my meaning here? So you want to be on that boat to get used and abused, skeeted and beat it? Is that what you want? No, you don't want to be the party favorite, the championship party favorite. That I was like, I never understood. Like, why y'all fighting to be on that sex romp boat? I never understood that. Like, y'all really mad at Kyrie for having these women, these loose ass women that's about to get run through, and y'all like, oh man, you invite no black women. Y'all don't want to be on that boat. Y'all should be wanting to be on that boat.
I never thought I'd have to address something as ridiculous as a yacht party, but here we are. I wasn't raised to discriminate against any race, especially not against women, and especially not my own. I was raised by black women in my family, so for me to be connected to some nonsense like a no black girls allowed party is not only embarrassing, but it's also a completely inaccurate portrayal of who I am and what I stand for as a man. Honestly, I wasn't even going to address this because there are literally a million things going on in the world right now that are far more important. But when people start questioning my character, I feel I need to speak. So let me be clear, that story has absolutely no truth to it. To anyone who felt offended before knowing the facts, I apologize. And to everyone who knows me, I'm sorry you had to answer questions about something so ridiculous. Now that I've cleared the air, I'd like to move forward and continue celebrating this championship. Thank you.
Good or bad about it.
I think the solution here is for black men date, marry, love black women.
What about black women? Can black women date, love, marry black men? Uh-huh.
Which I know is super hypocritical because I've dated white men. I have.
Jesus Christ. What are we? I can't help y'all. You just. So you want black men to date black women, but y'all just, we can do whatever. My mind. I can't help, man. I cannot help. Y'all hear this? I can't help you with this.
But one thing I do think, for black women, if we're really hurt about it, we need to open up our vantage point of who we're looking at to date. Because
how you go? So we black men are pigeonholed to date black women, but y'all need to expand. I can't help them with this. I can. Maybe y'all got it. Y'all got it.
they ain't stopping what they doing. So
in 2018, to carry that kind of hurt about men dating outside, black men dating outside their race, that's not going to stop. So I think that one, we can acknowledge how we feel about it, but I think part of it is opening up your horizons and saying, okay, I'm open to love in different places. Look, but it's also, I think, challenging black men. If you're watching this, don't label a black woman that questions or, maybe feel some hurt about who you choose to date and love, and labeling her as being bitter and angry and hating on you and this woman, whatever. And also asking yourself, why did you make that choice? Because
it ain't none of your business. It ain't none of your goddamn business why he made that choice. Now you want him to explain. No, he ain't got to explain shit to y'all. Black women, you're not owed that. Black men don't have to explain. That woman just sat up there and told y'all to expand. You said expand. Pause. Expand your options. Yeah,
I think the issue for so many black women is, one, is the hurt of seeing it, but it's really more hurtful when you get this really tired explanation of why that's based in us.
Black men, stop explaining yourselves.
Not being good enough, or being a headache, or being this type of personality, or we're not around. So that's for me the issue.
We brought in a group of black men to discuss and respond to the advice, commentary, and wisdom offered from one of our episodes of Listen to Black Women.
She's not going to live her life kind of identifying a black man is dating a white woman. Oh my God, travesty, right? Agreed. But I think that a lot of the black women that I know, a lot of my black female friends who are single, are faced with an issue of what's out there, what's in their purview as being true prime opportunities with Black men. And so in the instance that you see a Black man that you could have dated dating a white woman, it's kind of like, oh, that brother would have been good for me, and he went with a white girl. Oh, and so it really.
But the thing that they're missing, and I don't think they had the context behind this. It's been enough Black women on social media that have said that they are not competing for a man. So if you have a man such as Michael B. Jordan, and he's there, and that's a guy that you could have dated, right? A lot of Black women say that they're not competing for a man. But some other races of women, they will damn sure get in line and be ready to rumble with you just for a type of guy like that. So that's where it's kind of an issue there. So you could give him that advice, but I think, the majority, speaking for the majority of Black women, I think the ego is too high. They think it's lower than to compete for a man, especially a Black man. Kevin Samuels talked about this before he passed, when he was with the lead attorney in Suzette Speaks. He's like, yeah, they just don't want to compete. And the women in that 90s show, they said the same thing. So that's the issue. It's not the fact that they don't see these guys. They see them, but they just don't want to compete for them. You should come get me as this, successful man. You got to find me. And then, while other women are like literally putting themselves in a position to be available to him. Not saying sexually, but just in the space to let him know that, hey, I'm interested in you. But I don't think a lot of Black women are willing to do that. They want to be found. Sitting at home in the DoorDash guy. Walking, and he's a secret millionaire. It's Michael B. Jordan in a DoorDash outfit or something. Here we go. Fair use.
It does feel like sabotage. It kind of feels like you just straight up just took an opportunity away from me. And I think that is an issue that we need to address.
I think the point about Michael B. Jordan was really interesting too, about him building his reputation and his fame on the backs of Black women. And I think it is a very precarious predicament for him to be in, only because it's like now he feels obliged to have to make an excuse. He can't just say, I enjoy dating white women. I think the interesting.
You know who's in that position right now? The young guy, John Boyega. And it's another guy as well, where he openly said that he's only dating Black women publicly. Yeah, John Boyega, he was on the Breakfast Club, and I love Black women. Got a Black wife. But he said, I only want Black women. I only date Black women or whatever. But I think he got into some issue with some IG model where he almost got put in jail or something. Y'all remember that? And she was Black. But he said that, I'm not dating any other race. So now he is obligated to date Black women. He can't date any other race. So he has to make it work because his fan base is under an impression that you got to marry a Black woman. Same thing that happened with the comedian Ryan Davis. He said that there's got to be a Black woman, a dark-skinned Black woman at that. Remember a while back, he was on Kendra G's show and he said that. So moving forward, those guys are now pigeonholed into dating Black women. It's not a bad thing, but just remember that. Now, their fan bases may have a problem with that. So if they end up with a white woman. So, yeah.
Thing about preference is that it doesn't really affect anyone except for the individual. I understand historically that a lot of, what is seen as the Black plight is the loss of the Black family. But when does that become every individual's responsibility to say, okay, I have to put what I may innately prefer aside to fulfill this larger purpose? And so I think it's something to be said about, just the pressures of what is expected of the Black man and what he's supposed to do and how he's treated if he was to come out and say, I prefer to date white women. There's a lot of backlash for that.
And so I want us to
finish. And like I said, man, sometimes Black men, y'all give the Black community too much grace where you feel the need to explain yourself. You don't have to do that shit. If you dating outside your race and people are trying to question you, that ain't none of their goddamn business. Keep doing what you need to do. I love the Black community. I would love to see all Black men and women get together. However, that shit ain't gonna happen. So if y'all find love somewhere else, stop explaining yourselves. It ain't none of their business.
Finish your thought, if we may. So when Black men listen to Black women on the topic of interracial dating,
I feel that their specific perspective and the life events that they have lived through grant them the right to their opinion. I think it's very different from what I've lived through and what I've seen and my whole perception of the situation, but it's equally valued, and I think there's some merit to it.
When Black men listen to Black women on the topic of interracial dating,
they often get defensive and feel guilty.
Yeah, and I told you, black women, y'all give black men too much credit in regards to the reason why they decide to date out. Y'all be having all these damn think pieces about him not loving his mother, not loving the skin he in. You know, you just don't like black women. No, ain't got nothing to do with that. Y'all give black men too much credit. It could be as simple as this woman was nice to me. When I was going to college, she was there. She was helping me out. Yeah, and I thought she was pretty, and we just got together. The majority of interracial relationships end up like that. One of my best friends, she's married to a white guy. We was all in the military together. Good dude, great dude. She's wonderful. They're not in this space of, yeah, I was divesting, and no, they just met each other and had kids and a family and shit. So y'all be trying to, you know, psychoanalyze black men, and you hate your moms and you do all this. That's what. No. They just went, you know, with who likes them. Okay, y'all do too much, man. You talking all this foolery. The only people listening to that stuff is black women. Black men are like, I don't know what y'all talking about. You can continue saying all this foolery, but me marrying a white woman ain't got nothing to do with me not loving my mom. Yeah, y'all, that's some ignorant shit.
To be totally honest with you, I think when a black woman presents and says, you know, when black men date white women, I don't get it. I don't understand. You're not valuing yourself and who you come from. And if you dated a white woman, you sit down there and say, hey, is that true? No. You start to think and calculate and, you know, and see if that's the case. And then you come up with a response. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and you don't, that's what I'm telling you guys. Stop responding. All right.
That is the case. But the fact of the matter is that when we hear our sisters give their opinions on it, sometimes we can become enlightened, but oftentimes we become defensive.
What can we do, both men and women, to start to address this, right? What can women do to feel less bothered by these trends, and what can...
Stop talking about it. It ain't none of their business. Let me stop, man.
Men do, black men, to try to listen to black women a little bit more and hold space for them.
I think the key to any problem, the first step is dialogue. There needs to be that conversation. There can't be these feelings of disdain and anger and hurt, and you just keep it bottled inside. I don't think that's the solution in any situation. I think it's best that we have these conversations with each other. We put our prides aside. We try to remove the emotionality from it, and we hear what people are thinking. And furthermore, I think if you speak to a black man as a black woman, and you say, why do you date white women? And he says, this is all I want to date, then you probably saved yourself and dodged a bullet.
Right, because I find that rather curious. If I heard a black man say, yeah, I never liked black women, I'm like, man, what happened to you? Use what women be saying. Who hurt you? That would be kind of weird to me. Like you just were born liking white women. I mean, Topanga, you know, Denise Richards and Wild Things. I mean, they could have got me, but that's neither here nor there. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But yeah, they almost got me. They almost got me. I shouldn't have watched them, you know, Topanga running around. Okay, let me stop before I get in trouble. Okay.
You wouldn't want someone who could be so ignorant to think that you could just make a determination on who you love on race. So stay yourself.
Yeah, agreed. I think that black women, when you do get that kind of response from a black man, I only date white women or women that are not black, I think you definitely have saved yourself. I think you exit the conversation, especially if you're not interested in that man. But even if you are, you kind of just move on and don't take on the idea that that man's word is the word for all black men. And particularly if a black man is dating a white woman, please don't misappropriate that for only wanting white women.
Right.
I think there are tons of black men that want to date black women, and that's just a fact. The last piece I would say is date men outside of your race too. I mean,
yeah, you could try. Nobody, black men have never stopped black women from trying. That's not our fight. You gotta, I keep saying this, y'all gotta talk to white men and other races of men. Be like, yo, it's cool dating y'all, but why y'all ain't marrying us? And that's when you probably got to do your homework and see what they look for in a woman.
I'm not saying to do it as a tit for tat, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm not saying only date outside your race, but I think you have an opportunity to go out there and explore and see what you like and see that there's not really that much of a difference oftentimes when you're in the...
You see how calm the brothers are? They not insulting like we just got cooked. Man, black men will definitely carry themselves very well when it's a panel full of men for the most part. Talk very highly of black women, but we be getting cooked goodness. Okay.
dating world, maybe culturally, there might be a little bit, but you might learn something by dating somebody else.
Totally, cast a wide net. But my advice goes to men. I'd say men need to take more ownership for their reasons, right? And like you said, if that's your preference, that's fine.
There you
but
go.
I wouldn't deflect it by saying that the black woman is less than, right? And then we have the laundry list of things that we can point to. So I would say for men, we need to take more ownership of our preference if that's the case.
That was a good segment, man. But it was just trying to take you back in time to see that these conversations aren't new, and it's pretty much been the same since I got in these spaces. I had to learn. You guys know that it took me a while to understand what the hell was going on the dating market right now. But yeah, it's a lot.